Wake up. Not just from your sleep, but from your small thinking, from the lies you've been told, from the fear that's been whispering, you're not enough. Because every second you wait, someone else is living the life you were meant to build. Every day you stay silent, your dream fades a little more. Every excuse you give, I'm not ready, it's too late, I don't have what it takes, becomes a chain around your potential. And enough is enough. This is not just another motivational speech. This is a direct message to the part of you that's been hiding for too long. The part of you that knows you were made for more, but has been too scared to move, too worried about failing, too comfortable staying small. But comfort never created champions. Fear never built legacies. And excuses, they bury dreams. Look around. The world is loud. The world is distracted. But there's a reason you're listening right now. Because deep down, you've been asleep. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You've been operating below your power. You've been surviving instead of rising. Existing instead of living. But not anymore. This is your moment. To draw the line. To break the pattern. To stop chasing motivation and start choosing transformation. You don't need more time. You need more fire, more fights, more refusal to settle. Because if you don't awaken your greatness now, life will keep passing, and your potential will die quietly with your fear. So ask yourself, are you willing to live with the pain of regret or the fire of becoming everything you were meant to be? If your heart just answers, I want more, then this message is for you. Let's awaken your greatness before it's too late. So watch the video and learn how to awaken your greatness step by step. The sleeping giant inside you. There's a version of you that the world hasn't met yet. A version that's bold, fearless, powerful beyond measure. But right now, that version is sleeping, not gone. Not lost, just silent, waiting for a reason to rise. You weren't born to live a life of quiet desperation, just waking up, going to work, paying bills, and repeating the cycle. You were born for something greater, something deeper. You were made to leave a mark, to light a fire in others, to stand for something. But over time, the noise of the world got louder, and the voice inside you got quieter. Life happened. Responsibilities piled up. People told you to be careful, to be realistic, to stop dreaming so big. And slowly, without realizing it, you started shrinking yourself just to fit in. They taught you to play it safe, to follow the crowd, to color inside the lines. And with every compromise, every moment you silenced your intuition, your greatness went back to sleep. But here's the truth. Most people forget. Greatness doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits for you to choose it. For you to remember who you are. Deep inside, your heart hasn't forgotten. It remembers the dreams you had when you were a kid, the wild visions, the fearless goals, the fire in your eyes. And if you get quiet enough, if you really listen, that fire still whispers to you, wake me. I'm still here. Every time you feel frustrated, stuck, or restless, it's not because you're broken. It's because your soul knows you were meant for more, and you're not living it yet. You weren't made to live small. You were born to rise, to lead, to build something no one else could because no one else is you. But before that greatness can wake up, you have to believe it exists in you. Not in someone richer, not in someone luckier, in you. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need to decide that today is the day you stop sleeping on your own potential. Say it to yourself. I'm not here to survive. I'm here to rise. Because the real tragedy isn't failure. The real tragedy is dying without ever meeting the version of you that could have changed the world. So, I'm asking you now, will you let your greatness sleep another year? Or will you look in the mirror today and say, wake up, it's time. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs you, the original, powerful, real you. Awaken your greatness. This is your moment, and your moment is now. Burn the old story. The truth is, most people aren't held back by their abilities. They're held back by their stories, the quiet, hidden narratives they keep repeating in their heads. I'm not good enough. It's too late. I've failed too many times. These aren't facts. They're wounds disguised as logic. Somewhere along your path, maybe someone laughed at your dream. Maybe you tried once and it didn't work. Maybe you trusted someone and they broke you. And ever since, you've been carrying that pain like it defines you. But it doesn't. That's just the story you've been telling yourself. And the longer you believe it, the smaller your world becomes. Because your life will always rise or fall to match the story you believe about yourself. So if you want to awaken your greatness, you have to burn the old script, rip it up, set fire to it, refuse to let the past chain you to a version of yourself that no longer serves you. Every time you say, I can't, your greatness shrinks a little more. But every time you say, I will, even with shaking hands, even through the fear, you wake it up. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop repeating the story that broke you and start writing the one that will build you. This is your moment to shift, to interrupt the cycle, to stand in front of the mirror and speak something new. Not, I'm not enough, but I am rising. Not, I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. Not, who am I to do this, but who am I not to? You see, the fire inside you doesn't care what your past looked like. It only wants to know one thing. Are you ready to stop hiding? Because the moment you change your story, you change your future. And no one else can do that for you. Not your family, not your friends, not even the people who love you. This is your war to fight. Your cage breaks, your wings to spread, and you'll never fly if you keep telling yourself you're grounded. Your old story may have been written by pain, but your new one, your true one, will be written by power. So write it boldly, write it honestly, and write it in ink, not fear. You're not your past. You're not your failures. You're not what they called you. You are what you choose to become starting today. Say it with me. I'm not living the same chapter again. I'm turning the page. I'm writing a new story. And this time, I'm the hero. Your greatness has been waiting for this moment. Don't make it wait any longer. Burn the old story. Rise from the ashes and show the world what happens when a sleeping giant finally wakes up. Take the throne of your life. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide, am I going to keep blaming everything around me, or am I going to take the throne of my own life? It's easy to point fingers, easy to say, my parents didn't support me. I didn't have enough money. I wasn't lucky like others. And maybe some of that is true. Maybe you were hurt. Maybe you were left out, underestimated, ignored. But here's the truth. Most people never want to admit. Your pain is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. Your future doesn't care who hurt you. It only cares who's willing to rise. Greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who own their lives fully, brutally, and unapologetically. You can't keep sitting in the passenger seat, hoping someone else will drive you to your dreams. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to hand you a crown. You have to take it. You have to decide right now that you're done giving away your power. Stop blaming the system. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming time. Start leading. Because the moment you take responsibility for everything in your life, even the things that weren't your fault, is the moment you take back all your power. You stop being a victim. You start becoming a warrior. And warriors don't wait for the perfect moment. They fight to create it. Responsibility doesn't mean guilt. It means ownership. It means saying, no matter what's happened, I still choose what happens next. That's what the great ones do. That's what game changers do. They don't wait to feel ready. They don't wait to be healed. They rise while they're still bleeding. And in that rising, they begin to transform. The throne isn't for the perfect. It's for the willing. Willing to own their story. Willing to make mistakes. Willing to fall, fail, and rise anyway. You can spend the next 10 years making excuses, or you can start today and spend the next 10 years building a life you don't need to escape from. Ask yourself, have I been running from my life or ruling it? Have I been drifting or driving? Because the road to greatness doesn't require talent. It requires responsibility. That fierce decision to say, I may not control everything, but I control me, my actions, my attitude, my energy, my destiny. So take the throne, wipe the dust off your crown, sit up straight, shoulders back, eyes forward. The world may have tried to break you, but it did not succeed. You are still here, and if you are still here, there is still time. Don't give your life away to excuses. Don't hand your power to fear. This is your story, your life, your throne. And now, it's time to take it. The silent war within. The most dangerous battles are not fought on battlefields. They're fought in silence, inside your own mind. Every day there's a quiet war between who you are and who you were meant to be. Between your fears and your fire. Your doubts and your dreams. And the truth is, most people are losing this war, not because they're weak, but because they don't even realize it's happening. They feel stuck, tired, uninspired, but can't explain why. That's because the real war is invisible. It's the voice that whispers, you're not enough. The feeling that says, don't try, you'll just fail again. The thought that convinces you to scroll instead of work, to sleep instead of grow, to settle instead of rise, and slowly, day by day, you begin to surrender your potential without even knowing it. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which ones to believe. You don't have to listen to the voice of fear. You don't have to obey the inner critic who only sees your flaws. That voice is not your destiny. It's just noise. Greatness isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to rise anyway. It's waking up every morning, standing at the edge of that battlefield, and choosing, again and again, to fight for the life you were born to live. The life you can feel deep inside, even when it seems far away. Some days that war will exhaust you. You'll want to quit. You'll look around and wonder if it's even worth it. And that's exactly when you must push hardest, because on the other side of that internal battle is your freedom. That's where your power lives. That's where your greatness is born. Not in comfort, not in easy moments, but in the fight. In the courage to show up one more time, even when your hands are shaking and your heart is tired. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. Remember, no one sees the battles you're fighting, but that doesn't make them any less real. So fight with everything you've got. Fight with your focus. Fight with your discipline. Fight with your decisions. The world may never fully understand your silent war, but one day they'll witness your public victory. And when they do, they'll ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you didn't give up on yourself. You fought, and you won. This is your war. Not out there, but in here, in your heart, in your mind, in the choices you make when no one's watching. And if you fight with honor, if you fight with love, with purpose, with fire, you won't just win. You'll awaken something inside you that can never be put back to sleep. The gift of struggle. Most people spend their lives running from struggle, avoiding pain, fearing failure, escaping discomfort. But what if the very thing you're running from is the exact thing that will shape you into who you're meant to be? Struggle is not your enemy. It's your sculptor. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to carve out the strength that's hidden deep inside. Every moment you felt broken, misunderstood, or pushed to your limit, that wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Greatness isn't given, it's forged. And the fire that forges it is struggle. Think about it. Have you ever grown when things were easy? Have you ever discovered your true self when everything went exactly as planned? You grew when you were tested, when life hit you hard and you had to choose, break or rise. That choice, that fight, that pain, it taught you things no comfort ever could. Struggle teaches resilience. It exposes what matters. It purifies your purpose. It strips away the noise and reveals your core. And that core, that's where greatness lives. The world will tell you to avoid pain. But the legends, the icons, the ones we remember, they didn't avoid it. They embraced it. They understood that diamonds are made under pressure, muscles grow through resistance, and souls are refined through suffering. So if you're struggling right now, if you feel like life is tearing you apart, don't run. Look it in the eye. Breathe through it. Walk through it. Because something inside you is being awakened. Something stronger, wiser, more unstoppable than you've ever known. Struggle is the bridge between the life you have and the life you dream of. But most never cross it. They sit at the edge, wishing for ease, waiting for permission, hoping for shortcuts. But shortcuts don't build strength. Struggle does. So when it shows up, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this trying to build in me?" Because every difficulty carries a gift. And sometimes, your pain is the exact path to your purpose. You want to awaken your greatness? Then don't curse the storm. Become the storm. Don't beg for a lighter load. Build a stronger back. Don't wish for fewer problems. Develop deeper power. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that your greatest transformation didn't happen when life was easy. It happened when you kept going, even when everything inside you wanted to stop. And that moment of choice, is where greatness is born. So embrace the struggle. Learn from it. Grow through it. Let it break the parts of you that are weak and awaken the parts of you that are powerful. This is not the end. It's the beginning. The moment your greatness stops sleeping and starts rising. From struggle comes strength. Burn the old you. There's a moment in every transformation when you must make a terrifying decision. To let go of who you've been, so you can become who you were always meant to be. It's not easy, because even if the old version of you was tired, insecure, or lost, it was still familiar, safe, predictable. But listen carefully. Comfort is a slow death, and if you stay where it's warm and familiar, you'll never reach where it's wild and extraordinary. The version of you that plays small, avoids risk, and doubts their worth. That version must die for your greatness to be born. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you really are beneath the fear, the lies, the noise. Somewhere along the way, you stopped believing. Maybe it was a failure. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was just life. But piece by piece, you built a cage out of your past. And now the walls feel real. But they're not. They're made of fear. And fear is nothing but smoke. You were never meant to live caged. You were meant to rise like fire. So it's time to make a choice. A real one. Will you keep dragging your past into your future? Will you keep dressing your wounds like they're your identity? Or will you finally say, enough? Enough hiding, enough shrinking, enough being less than your potential. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need to decide that the old you, the one who settled, the one who feared, the one who doubted, is not coming with you into this next chapter. That person served a purpose. They got you here, but they can't take you further. Now, you burn. Burn the excuses. Burn the false beliefs. Burn the small dreams. Burn the lies that tell you you're not ready. And in the ashes, watch something new rise. Watch your power return. Watch your confidence rebuild. Watch your light, the one that's been buried for years, begin to blaze again. Because that light has always been there. It's not something you gain. It's something you uncover. You are not broken. You are buried. And it's time to break free. This is your fire moment. The turning point. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now you don't awaken greatness by waiting. You awaken it by walking into the flames of your fear and saying, let it burn. And as the old you turns to ash, something sacred awakens in the heat. The real you, the powerful you, the unstoppable you. So if you're scared, good. That means you're close. Lean into it. Step through it. Burn what no longer serves you. Because greatness doesn't rise from comfort. It rises from fire. The cost of greatness. Everyone wants greatness. Everyone wants the result, the power, the freedom, the transformation. But very few are willing to pay the price because greatness has a cost. And it's not money. It's not talent. It's a sacrifice. It's painful. It's long night with no applause. Early mornings when no one is watching. It's discipline when you feel lazy. Courage when you're afraid, and belief when no one else believes in you. The truth is, greatness demands everything from you before it gives anything back. It asks for your time, your focus, your patience, and it tests you to see if you're serious. This is why most people quit. Not because they don't want success, but because they didn't expect the price to be so high. They thought it would be easier. That motivation would be enough. But motivation fades, passion cools, and that's when the price of greatness becomes clear. It's paid in silence, in sweat, in repeated effort when your mind screams to stop. It's paid when you say no to distractions, no to temporary pleasure, no to the old life that wants to pull you back. Example. Think of a seed buried deep underground. It has to break through the dirt, fight the darkness, and stretch toward the light before anyone sees its beauty. That's you. Right now, you may be buried under pressure, under doubt, under setbacks, but you are not finished. You are planted. And if you're willing to stay the course, to trust the pain, to keep reaching even when it hurts, you will rise. But you must stop asking for greatness at a discount. Stop hoping for it to come without sacrifice. It won't. And that's a good thing. Because if it were easy, it would be empty. The value of your success will be measured by the depth of your struggle. When you finally break through, it will mean something. Not because someone gave it to you, but because you earned it. With tears, with discipline, with relentless dedication. You want to awaken your greatness? Then make peace with the price. Embrace the grind. Fall in love with the process, because this journey isn't about looking perfect. It's about becoming powerful. And the only way to become powerful is to keep showing up day after day when it's hard, when it's boring, when it hurts, when it feels impossible. That's the real cost of greatness. And if you're willing to pay it, if you're willing to give your all when no one is clapping, you won't just reach your goals. You'll become someone unstoppable, someone unforgettable, someone who didn't just dream of greatness, but awakened it. Silence the inner enemy. There's a voice inside you. You hear it when you fail, when you hesitate, when you feel afraid. It says, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it. Who do you think you are?" It's not the world. It's not your past. It's not even the people who doubted you. It's the voice inside your own mind, the one that whispers fear, screams insecurity, and feeds on self-doubt. And unless you learn how to silence that inner enemy, you will never awaken your greatness. This voice doesn't speak the truth. It speaks of memory. It repeats old patterns, old pain, old wounds. It's built from past failures, harsh words, and moments when you felt powerless. But just because it's loud doesn't mean it's right. That voice is not your identity. It's your old programming. And to rise, you must reprogram. You must confront it. You must talk back. Because if you don't take control of that voice, it will take control of you. Example. Imagine a lion raised in a cage, trained to believe it's weak, small, and helpless. Even when the cage door is opened, it won't run free, because in its mind, it's still trapped. That's what the inner enemy does. It turns your mind into a cage, even when life is ready to set you free. But you're not that lion anymore. You are not that scared child, that defeated version, that broken identity. You are powerful. And the moment you realize that, the cage dissolves. The voice in your head says you can't? Then speak louder. Watch me. It says you'll fail. Say, failure builds me. It says you're too late. Say, I'm just getting started. Rewire your thoughts. Rebuild your self-talk. You are the architect of your belief system. Every word you say to yourself becomes a brick, so build something strong, something fierce, something unshakable. You don't overcome the inner enemy by avoiding fear. You overcome it by standing in front of it and refusing to bow, by walking through the storm and realizing you are the storm, by speaking your truth until the lies lose their power. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. Aligning with your truth, your potential, your purpose. Awakening your greatness doesn't start with applause. It starts in silence. It starts with one decision. I will no longer be my own enemy. From this day forward, I will be my greatest supporter, my fiercest advocate, my most loyal warrior. Because if the world doubts you but you believe in yourself, you'll still rise. But if the world believes in you and you keep doubting yourself, you'll stay stuck. So silence the inner enemy. Let your roar be louder than your fears. Let your belief be stronger than your past. Because the voice that used to hold you back will become the fire that pushes you forward. Use the pain. Don't waste it. Pain is not your enemy. It's a messenger, a teacher, a key. It shows up to break you open, not to destroy you, but to awaken you. But most people run from pain. They numb it, hide from it, distract themselves with noise, comfort, and lies. And in doing so, they miss one of life's greatest truths. Pain has the power to shape you into something greater, if you're brave enough to face it. Every scar you carry, every heartbreak you've survived, every failure that brought you to your knees, all of it carries a gift, not a punishment. A gift. You see, greatness is not born in moments of ease. It is carved in fire. And if you're feeling that fire now, don't run. Use it. Let it refine you, not define you. Let it make you stronger, wiser, hungrier. Example, think of a sword. Before it ever becomes a weapon, it's just a piece of raw metal. But under intense heat and constant pounding, it's shaped, sharpened, and polished until it becomes powerful. That's what life is doing to you. Your pain is not proof you're broken. It's proof you're being forged. And if you walk through that pain instead of around it, you'll come out stronger than you've ever imagined. You've been through things that could have destroyed you, and yet you're still here. That's not weakness. That's power. That's proof that even when life tried to break you, you refused to stay shattered. And that pain you carry, it's not useless. It's your fuel. Use it to write your story. Use it to find your voice. Use it to build the life you were born for. Because the pain that almost broke you will be the reason you rise higher than ever before. Don't waste your suffering. Don't let it be in vain. If you cried, let it matter. If you lost, let it teach you. If you were betrayed, abandoned, overlooked, let that sharpen your focus and deepen your fire. Let the pain make you dangerous, not to others, but to your limits. Awakening your greatness doesn't mean avoiding struggle. It means transforming it, alchemizing your wounds into wisdom, turning your setbacks into fuel. It means saying, this pain will not define me. It will drive me. So the next time it hurts, don't run. Don't numb it. Sit with it. Listen to it. And ask, what is this here to teach me? Because the greatest version of you isn't waiting on the other side of comfort. It's waiting on the other side of pain. And if you have the courage to walk through it, you won't just heal, you'll rise. The mirror doesn't lie, but it doesn't tell the whole story. Every morning, you stand in front of a mirror. You see your face, your body, your reflection. But what you don't always see is your power. Because mirrors only show the outside. They don't show your dreams, your resilience, your fire. They don't reflect the battles you've fought in silence, the tears you've wiped when no one was watching, the moments you nearly gave up, but didn't. And that's the problem. We let a glass surface tell us who we are. If it shows tired eyes, we believe we're weak. If it shows scars, we believe we're broken. If it shows a face filled with doubt, we believe we're not enough. But greatness was never skin deep. It was always soul deep. And the mirror you need isn't made of glass. It's made of truth. The truth of who you are when everything is stripped away, the strength that no reflection can capture. Example. Think of a diamond. Before it sparkles, it's buried deep underground. It looks like nothing, rough, ordinary. But under pressure, over time, it transforms. And one day, someone looks again and sees something priceless. That's you. Don't judge your worth by how you look today. Judge it by what you've survived, what you've learned, and how far you've come. You are not just the reflection in the mirror. You are the journey behind it. So when you look at yourself tomorrow, look deeper. Look beyond the surface. See the fire in your eyes. See the dreams in your heart. See the potential that hasn't been awakened yet. Not because it isn't real, but because you haven't dared to believe in it fully. The moment you see yourself clearly, The world will start to see you differently too. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to be flawless to be worthy. You just need to be real. Real with your pain. Real with your potential. Real with your purpose. That's where greatness begins. Not with changing your face, but with owning your fire. So from now on, use the mirror not to judge yourself, but to remind yourself, this is the vessel, but my greatness lives within. Don't shrink in your own presence. Don't hide from your own eyes. Stand tall, stand true. And if you've never seen greatness in your reflection before, it's time to look again. Because the mirror might not lie, but you have more inside you than any reflection will ever reveal. What you do in the dark builds who you are in the light. The world sees your highlights, your victories, your confidence, your polished moments. But what they don't see is the darkness you had to walk through to get there. They don't see the early mornings when your body screamed, but you got up anyway. They don't see the nights you spent alone, questioning everything, the tears you wiped quietly, the doubts you battled, the dreams you held onto with nothing but stubborn faith. That is where greatness is born, not in the spotlight but in the shadows. It's what you do when no one's watching that builds the strength they later admire. It's the discipline you keep when there's no applause, the habits you practice when there's no recognition, the decisions you make when it's easier to quit, but you choose to stay. That is character. That is growth. That is greatness being sculpted in silence. Example. Think of a seed buried underground. No light, no noise, no attention. It cracks open in the dirt, in the dark where no one sees. But that process, the breaking, the struggle, is exactly what gives it the power to rise, to become a tree, to touch the sky. If you're in a dark place right now, don't mistake it for the end. It might just be your beginning, the soil where your roots will grow, the darkness where your strength will form. The truth is, if you only work hard when people are watching, you'll never make it. If you only give your best when there's a reward, you'll stay average. The ones who rise highest are those who grind when it's silent, who fight when there's no fanfare, who believes even when no one claps, because they don't do it for validation. They do it for transformation. So if you feel unnoticed, good. That's your training ground. If you feel like no one sees your effort, perfect. Let that be your edge. Because when the spotlight does finally come, you'll be ready. Not because you practiced greatness in the light, but because you built it in the dark. This part of the journey isn't supposed to be glamorous. It's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to break your excuses and sharpen your focus. The shadows aren't your prison. They are your forge. And what you do in them will determine how brightly you shine when your time finally comes. So don't just chase greatness. Prepare for it. Build it in the dark. So when the world finally sees you, they'll realize you were never lucky. You were ready. The world is waiting on the real you. You've heard the whispers inside your heart, the ones that say you were made for more. You've felt the restlessness, the fire, the ache to become something greater than your past, your pain, or your present circumstances. That wasn't your imagination. That was your calling. And it's not going away, because you were never meant to live a small life. You were never meant to stay hidden in fear, buried in doubt, or trapped in cycles that steal your potential. You were born for greatness. But greatness isn't something you wait for. It's something you wake up. It's something you choose. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to begin. Begin with belief. Begin with courage. Begin with a decision that today, not someday, you will show up fully. For yourself, for your future, for the people counting on you to rise. Don't let your story end in silence. Don't let fear be your legacy. Don't shrink to fit in or settle to survive. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your truth, your fire, your voice. There's something inside you that this world has never seen before, and if you hide it, we all lose. But if you let it out, if you awaken that greatness, the world will never be the same again. Every excuse you've used, every doubt that told you you're not ready, every failure that made you believe you're not enough, leave them behind now. Because the life you dream of isn't waiting for permission. It's waiting for you. So take the step, speak the dream, build what you were afraid to even imagine. Start even if your voice shakes. Try even if you fail. Keep going, even when it hurts. Because the moment you stop waiting and start living with purpose, the moment you commit to awakening your greatness, you don't just change your life. You start a revolution, and that revolution begins with one belief. I was not born to be average. I was born to be unforgettable. Now go. The time is not later. The time is not tomorrow. The time is now. Awaken your greatness, and let the world finally see who you were always meant to be.